If you've ever found yourself exploring this wonderful underwater world in Subnautica, one day it may have just happened to you that you kept on going and going until eventually you reached what looked like a really big drop into the depths. Now naturally, you decided to go explore because why not? That's what this game is all about. And then you saw one of these guys and you probably never came back, uninstalled the game and cried yourself to bed. What you encountered in there is of course known as the Ghost Leviathan, and it is what's going to be the topic of our video today. I'm going to be looking at everything we know about these creatures, their life cycle, where they are located, how they attack, and if you stay to the end, I'll also tell you how you can defend yourself against them. So, put on your diving gear, jump into your sea moth, and let's go. Now to start us off, the Ghost Leviathans are massive. In fact, they're the second largest aggressive creature in the entirety of the game. The body of a Ghost Leviathan juvenile measures up to around 67 meters, just a bit over the Reaper Leviathan, with the body of the adult growing all the way up to 107. When you spot one of these, the first thing you'll probably notice is its soft gelatinous body with a very distinctly blue discoloration, and its signature skull which strongly resembles that of the hammerhead shark. Now coming up close to them, you will realize that the blue soft tissue is only a outer membrane which covers a more muscular inner body with multiple blue stripes running from the head all the way to its tail. On its head, it has 4 yellow bioluminescent eyes and a single small sail in the center of its body, right on the spot where the two extensions of its skull meet. Now its skull is notably the largest bone in its body, in fact it's one of few that are actually in there, and it is incredibly thick and, based on that, also incredibly durable. Below that it has a rectangular mouth with no real visible teeth inside, and 2 smaller protrusions, one where each cheek would technically be located. Now as I already mentioned, these things are freaking aggressive. If you see one of them, your best choice of action might just be to retreat, as one of their bites will do 85 damage to the player, so unless you are above that you will insta-die, and 43 damage to the sea moth, 14 damage to the prawn suit, and about 220 to the cyclops. Now biting of course isn't its only way of causing damage, as the aforementioned thick and powerful skull can be used to ram whatever vehicle the player is located in, causing additional damage. Before it attacks you, it will do a short spiral as if though preparing for a charge, and then shoot right for you with its mouth open, releasing a loud and echoing screech, even though there is no note of it using this screech as a form of echolocation, similarly to the Reaper Leviathan. On this note, however, they do seem to be attracted by sound, so whenever you use the rig for silent running in your Cyclops, this is a great way to avoid detection by these guys if you're trying to make it through an area where a few of them are located. Which brings us to where you can actually find them. Now currently, there are 6 of them on the map. 3 juveniles that can be found in the Lost River, 2 adults which will spawn in the Grand Reef, and 1 in the Northern Blood Kelp Zone. Now it is worth a note that 3 more can technically spawn if player enters the crater edge. As soon as you leave the bounds of the world, a single adult Ghost Leviathan will spawn, 30 seconds after which a second one will spawn, 30 seconds after which the last Ghost Leviathan will spawn. These creatures are active during both the day and the night, so you will not be escaping the crater anytime soon, and they also have the tendency to always appear at the time you expect them the least and scare the Jesus out of you. Now let's talk a little bit about their life cycle, as interestingly enough, we know more about these creatures' life cycle than about many others in the game. If you venture into the Lost River and find the giant cove tree, scanning the blobs on top of it will reveal that those are actually Ghost Leviathan eggs. Upon further examination, you can actually discover that those eggs were actually placed there when the tree was still in its growing stage, so chances are it takes a fairly long time for the Ghost Leviathan to develop and hatch. It seems like they live out their young years within the Lost River, as we can see several juveniles patrolling the area, after which they slowly move out and move towards the edge of the world. Funny enough, even though you can see them hunting fish and other animals within the world, once they reach adulthood, it is stated that they mostly consume microorganisms, as outside of the outer rings of the crater, no other life can survive besides Leviathan form or microorganism form. Now, I imagine many players have had to reconsider their life choices upon hearing this sound. But even if you do, if you play your cards right, it does not actually have to be the end of you, as there are ways to defend against them and even potentially kill them, if you're determined, that is. As per usual, your absolutely best defense against these guys is going to be the stasis rifle, as it can stun them for however long you charge it up for, giving you ample opportunities to get out and escape the area. If you're determined on killing them, however, the same as with the Sea Dragon, I would recommend the tactic of getting into your prawn suit, getting the hook arm, and getting the drill arm, attempting to hook yourself right below their head in a place where they have a really hard time attacking you, and then repeatedly drilling them with your drill arm until they will die. But I have to warn you that if you decide to go for this process, you better be ready for a long haul, as these things have insane amounts of health and it can take you upwards of 10 or more minutes to kill one of them. Now, just a few interesting facts to kind of end this video off. Based on the fact that we find their eggs and the juveniles within the Lost River, with all the adults living pretty far away from there, we can come to the conclusion that they are a strongly migratory animal, but the adult individual will only rarely be living close to where it originally hatched. And also, its eggs, despite it being smaller than the Sea Emperor, the eggs are significantly larger, which kind of tells us that these things develop much more within the egg than the Emperor, and thus it needs to be able to accommodate them, which probably has something to do with their very aggressive lifestyle and how they have to very quickly mature after hatching to be able to survive in the world. But honestly, that is just a theory and I can't really back it up with any significant evidence. Anyways, that is all the information I was able to discover on the Ghost Leviathan. If you guys know of anything that I missed, or you have any theory which you wish to propose, please make sure to leave that down in the comments, as I'd be really interested to hear what you guys think on this topic. Also, if there's any other creature you would like to see me make a video on, please make sure to leave that down there as well. If you liked the video, maybe consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. All of those would be very much appreciated. I wish you all a beautiful rest of the day, and I'm gonna see you all in whatever next video I make. Bye bye.